You wake up and stare at the ceiling. Your body feels heavier than lead. Your chest feels empty. You hear the world moving outside your window, but you pull the blankets over your head. You tell yourself that you just need to think positively first. You tell yourself you will get up once you feel better. So you lie there, waiting for a burst of motivation. You scroll on your phone. You fight with your own thoughts. An hour passes, then two. You feel worse than when you first woke up. What if you fell for a psychological trap? The truth is surprising. Waiting for your mindset to change before you move is the exact reason you stay stuck. Well, meaning, people tell you to change your perspective. They tell you to practice gratitude or think happy thoughts. When you are dealing with a low mood or depression, that advice feels impossible. It feels like telling someone with a broken leg to run a marathon. Here is what neuroscience reveals about your brain. Mindset does not lead action. Action leads mindset. Your brain and your body are connected in a continuous feedback loop. When you stay still in bed for hours, your brain receives a constant stream of sensory input. It notices the darkness. It notices the horizontal position. It notices the lack of physical movement and muscle engagement. Your brain interprets this stillness as a sign of danger or severe exhaustion. It responds by lowering your heart rate and slowing down your nervous system. It reduces the release of dopamine and norepinephrine, the exact neurotransmitters you need to feel alert, focused, and motivated. By staying in bed to protect yourself, you accidentally tell your brain to keep shut down. You lock yourself into a state that psychologists call behavioral shutdown. Your mind gets trapped in a cycle of rumination. Rumination is when your brain loops the same negative thoughts over and over, without finding a solution. Without physical movement to interrupt the loop, those thoughts become your entire reality. So how do you break a loop that feels unbreakable? You stop trying to fix your thoughts with more thoughts. You use physical movement to force a neurochemical shift. You bypass your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain overthinking every decision, and engage your motor cortex. Your motor cortex controls voluntary movement. When you execute a physical motion, it demands immediate energy and attention from your brain. Placing your feet in the cold floor sends a soothing surge of new tactile information to your nervous system. Standing upright changes your posture and forces your lungs to expand. Your heart rate adjusts to pump blood against gravity. Your blood pressure shifts. That physical shift signals to your brain that the environment has changed. Your brain is forced to wake up and adapt. This is where the concept of microsteps changes everything. When you are in a deep slump, the idea of getting ready for the day feels overwhelming. Your brain sees a massive list of tasks: brush teeth, make breakfast, answer emails, clean up. It sees that list and immediately triggers a freeze response to conserve energy. You do not need to commit to a productive day. You only need to commit to a micro step. A micro step is an action so small that your brain cannot register it as a threat or a burden. Your goal is not to clean your room or go for a run. Your goal is simply to swing your legs over the side of the bed. That is it. You do not even have to stand up yet. Just put your feet in the rug. Once your feet touch the floor, the hardest part of the physical transition is over. You broke the stillness. You interrupted the rumination loop. Now, you pick the next micro step. Stand up. Walk 3 paces to the sink. Splash cold water on your face. You are leveraging a basic principle of physics in your brain: momentum. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. When you take one tiny physical action, your brain releases a microdose of dopamine as a reward for completing a behavior. That tiny drop of dopamine gives you just enough energy to take the next small step. You are not waiting for motivation to strike from the sky. You are manufacturing your own momentum from scratch. Notice how this plays out in real life. Once you change your strategy, you wake up feeling a heavy cloud in your chest. The urge to stay under the covers is overwhelming. Instead of arguing with your thoughts or trying to feel positive, you ignore your mind entirely. You count down from 3. 3, 2, 1. You pull back the blanket and plant your feet on the ground. Your mind is still telling you that today will be hard, but your body is now standing up. You walk to the window and open the blinds. Sunlight hits your eyes, stopping the production of melatonin and signaling your biological clock that the day has begun. You drink a glass of water. You sit on the couch instead of lying in bed. You still feel tirade. You might still feel down, but you are no longer trapped in the bed loop. You reclaimed your agency. You proved to yourself that your body can move even when your feelings resist. Confidence and relief do not come from waiting until you feel ready. They come from showing up in tiny ways while you feel unready. Every single time you choose to put your feet on the floor, you send a quiet message to your brain. You teach your nervous system that you are in control, not your slump. Look at your morning routine tomorrow. Are you going to stay under the blankets and wait for a feeling that isn't coming? Or are you going to count down from 3, put your feet on the floor, and let momentum build the way forward?